Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Meditation Minyan. I'm Rabbi Chana Leslie Glazer of Congregational.Reim, and we want to welcome everyone who is with us, both live on our Zoom and also watching the recording afterwards. We welcome you. Glad you're with us. So we are going to continue along the theme of pre-spring and the Jewish month of Shvat. We just had Tu B'Shvat, and that was just at the beginning of the week. And so we are going to continue along this theme, and we are going to practice today a practice of rooting, having roots, finding roots, drawing from our roots. Okay, so I'm going to invite you to relax in your seat. And it's a good idea to have your hands down for this one, but resting comfortably somewhere where they can be down, and feet touching the ground if you're able to do that. In this chair that I'm in, I'm only kind of sort of able to do that, but I've got at least part of them touching. And you want to lower your gaze or close your eyes, whatever you're comfortable with. So we're going to take a good deep breath in together, all the way down to the belly. And slowly release. And then another good deep breath in. And slowly release. Pressing all the air out of the belly. And we're going to do one more. If you've pressed all the air out, you can go back to your regular breath. And let's check in with the body. Look for areas that may be out of alignment, the neck or the spine or the shoulders. See if that helps decrease any tension. And if you do find a spot of the body that has tension, you can breathe into it. And as you breathe out, then imagine the tension releasing from that spot of the body. So we're thinking about the concept of rooted, being rooted today. And I was on a meditation group yesterday, And there was some discussion about what it feels like to be not connected with our bodies, outside of our bodies. And one of the ways that we can do that, of course, being connected with our body also helps us regulate our emotions and even can help us be more effective as speakers. There are a lot of reasons why it's a good idea to connect with the body and get into the body. And one of the ways we do that is through this exercise of experiencing being rooted. So I'm going to invite you to notice the soles of your feet and as they press down on perhaps your shoes, or they press down perhaps directly on the floor, depending on what you're wearing. And then got them shoes on, then the shoes pressed down against the floor. You want to really direct energy into that connection. We've been talking about trees for Tu B'Shvat, and one of the realizations that I had was a memory of planting a tree. It was a rabbinic mission in Africa, in Senegal. And they talked about how much water the tree needed to be given because it really needed to develop a root system. And that takes a while. And the water really helps the tree nourish itself, but also to help the roots grow into the earth. So we want to think about that. It's one of the first things that a tree does is really grow its roots. And then from there, it can extend upwards and outwards. But the roots and the foundation, really important. So as our feet touch the earth, I want to imagine like a root system underneath that we can tap into. See if you can draw breath, energy through the feet and then up into the belly. Through the feet, through the legs, through the hips, into the belly. Kind of the opposite of what we normally do. We breathe in through the mouth, but in this case, you're imagining that the breath is coming in through the feet and through the earth, the roots underneath the earth. And the out breath also goes back to the earth. And you may feel your mind start to wander, and that's okay. Just come back to the feeling of the soles of your feet and the root system underneath and the body. that rises up out of that root system. And with each breath in, you can imagine drawing holiness, connection, juicier things. And again, if the mind wanders, just bring it back. And you can think of each breath that comes in, down from the roots, through the feet, through the legs, into the belly, almost as storing up energy. Resilience energy for whenever we may need it. We've got about 7 minutes left to explore this idea of rooting, feeling rooted, connecting and drawing energy from our relationship to the earth. All right, friends. It's time to start coming back to the room. It's not quite spring out there yet, but getting ready for spring can be a really wonderful spiritual practice, mindfulness of where we are now, and finding the connections that we need to feel good and supported and nourished. All right. Well, it's been great to meditate with you, and we'll see you next week.